Ravenwood Manor stood on a desolate hill, its dark silhouette etched against the moonlit sky. The once grand estate had long since fallen into disrepair, its windows shattered and its walls covered in creeping ivy. The townspeople of Blackwood spoke of it in hushed whispers, telling tales of ghostly apparitions and strange occurrences that plagued the old mansion. It was said that those who entered Ravenwood Manor seldom returned, and those who did were forever changed. The manor had remained abandoned for decades, a testament to the tragedies that had befallen its former inhabitants. The last known resident, Lady Eleanor Ravenscroft, had vanished without a trace one stormy night, leaving behind only a cryptic note and an air of foreboding. Since then, the estate had been left to rot, a haunted relic of a bygone era. Intrigued by the legends surrounding Ravenwood Manor, a team of paranormal investigators decided to uncover the truth behind the haunting. Led by Dr. Victoria Halloway, a renowned parapsychologist, the team arrived at the manor one foggy evening, armed with their equipment and a sense of determination. As they approached the wrought iron gates, the air grew colder, and an uneasy silence fell upon them. Dr. Halloway pushed open the creaking gate, and the team made their way up the overgrown path to the manor's entrance. The massive wooden doors groaned in protest as they swung open, revealing the dark interior of the mansion. The grand foyer was a scene of eerie beauty. A crystal chandelier hung precariously from the ceiling, its once bright lights now dimmed and coated in dust. The walls were adorned with faded portraits of the Ravenscroft family, their eyes seeming to follow the investigators as they moved deeper into the manor. "Let's set up our equipment here," Dr. Halloway instructed, her voice steady but tinged with apprehension. "We'll start with an EVP session and see if we can make contact with any spirits." The team spread out, placing digital recorders and cameras throughout the foyer. As the night wore on, they conducted their investigations, asking questions into the darkness and hoping for a response. At first, there was nothing but silence, but then faint whispers began to fill the air, barely audible but unmistakable. "Did you hear that?" One of the investigators, Sarah, whispered, her eyes wide with fear. Dr. Halloway nodded, her heart pounding. "Stay focused. We're here to find answers." The whispers grew louder, forming disjointed words and phrases. "Help! Trapped! Find me!" The voice was ethereal, almost mournful, and it sent chills down the spines of the investigators. Determined to uncover the source of the haunting, the team ventured further into the manor, exploring its darkened hallways and forgotten rooms. As they climbed the grand staircase, they felt a growing sense of dread, as if something unseen was watching their every move. In one of the bedrooms, they found an old diary belonging to Lady Eleanor. The pages were yellowed with age, and the ink had faded, but the entries told a harrowing tale of sorrow and despair. Lady Eleanor had been tormented by visions of a ghostly figure, a woman in white who appeared to her night after night whispering secrets and warnings. "It must be her spirit that's haunting the manor," Dr. Halloway mused, her fingers tracing the delicate handwriting. "But why? What happened to her?" As they continued their investigation, they encountered more paranormal phenomena. Doors slammed shut on their own, cold drafts swept through the halls, and shadowy figures flitted past the corners of their vision. The manor seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy, as if it resented the intruders. In the grand ballroom, the team set up a séance, hoping to make direct contact with Lady Eleanor's spirit. They sat in a circle, holding hands and concentrating on their intent. Dr. Halloway began to chant softly, calling out to the spirits of Ravenwood Manor. Suddenly, the temperature dropped, and a ghostly figure materialized before them. It was the woman in white, her eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and anger. "Why have you come?" she demanded, her voice echoing through the room. "We're here to help," Dr. Halloway replied, her voice trembling. "We want to understand what happened to you and put your spirit to rest." The ghostly figure's expression softened, and she began to tell her story. Lady Eleanor had been trapped in a loveless marriage to Lord Ravenscroft, a cruel and abusive man who cared only for his wealth and status. Desperate to escape, she had turned to dark magic, seeking a way to free herself from her torment. But the ritual had gone horribly wrong. Instead of granting her freedom, it had bound her spirit to the manor, condemning her to an eternity of suffering. She had tried to warn others, to prevent them from falling into the same trap, but her warnings had gone unheeded. "Please," she begged, her eyes pleading, "break the curse and set me free." Dr. Halloway nodded, determination filling her heart. "We'll do everything we can to help you, Lady Eleanor." With the ghost's guidance, the team retraced the steps of the ritual, gathering the necessary components and performing the incantations. As they completed the final steps, the ground beneath them began to tremble, and the air was filled with a blinding light. When the light faded, the manor was transformed. The decaying walls were restored to their former glory, and the oppressive atmosphere had lifted. Lady Eleanor's spirit appeared before them one last time, her expression one of gratitude and peace. "Thank you," she whispered, before fading away into the ether. The haunting of Ravenwood Manor had come to an end. The team of investigators left the manor, their hearts heavy with the weight of the truth they had uncovered. They knew that the legend of Ravenwood would live on, but now it would be a story of redemption and hope, rather than fear. As they drove away from the manor, the sun began to rise, casting a warm glow over the landscape. The curse had been broken, and the spirits of Ravenwood were finally at rest.